What's going on?
Said we don't want this to happen again. What you say?
I was telling Ice Man, we can't allow this to happen again. I don't even care if he wins, but we can't allow, Puma and his dad to do what they've been doing, man. Not 2 years in a row, bro. Bad enough Maya Moore went and got married. That done broke my heart.
I know you were so hurt. I know you were so hurt.
Please,
that's
man,
why I opened my phone. I'm like, oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. That's a wounded man right there.
Yeah.
And you should have been you.
So you two are mortal enemies on the NFL, but you'd rather Ice to win than me and my pop to win.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I ain't ashamed to say it.
You got to come together. See,
yes. Sometimes unity is a damn good thing.
You got to come together because, see, for some reason, no disrespect, I'm glad you won last year, brother. You know, I got nothing but love for you. I'm glad you won. But then you start feeling some kind of way. Like you aren't, like you definitely deserve to be top dog still. I'm like, how long we been doing this? You won one time, and now you feel like you the everlasting gobstopper or something. What the hell is going on? So
play that damn football.
Hey, and I'm happy for you. I mean, you happy, you showing the football, you're Pops pumped up, but you know, it's time to get some New World Order back in this thing, baby. You know, I told you that.
I wasn't supposed to win any season. That's where it was.
I didn't say that. I said I was happy for you. But you act like you're supposed to be back to back to back to back to back. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you forget the other years? And you know, I love you, so I ain't gonna try to take you down. But you are feeling some kind of way. And as champion, you had a right to do that. But I'm a competitor too. I love you, but I cut you. I will.
Man,
I'll take you down. I love you. I'm still taking you down, bro. I'm gonna take you down hard.
I say the scenery changes and the smells change when you lead dog.
Hey, yeah. Everybody going after the champion.
That's it now.
You said you wanted to be on top of the throne. You got it, right?
Yeah.
You've been trying to get that March Madness throne. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
That's what you really want. I know you do.
I think it all started with the AAF. That's when I just got on the roll.
You want to count? Look, if you want to count that, that's cool. I ain't mad.
I want to thank you for sending clear, photos of who's playing this week.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
That's 2 games right there.
Yeah, I don't want to be accused of sabotaging anymore.
Yeah, that's 2 games wins right there for him, right there. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
We about to get back on track, though, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get back on track. Welcome to the first 40 with the Goon Squad. You got Black Thor over there. You got Ice Water over there. This is week 2 of the NFL picks. Pop is already, just talking trash, saying, I whipped y'all tail this week. And he got some interesting picks. A preview to his picks, he did not pick the Cowboys again this week. This is a first. That's his team, but he did not pick the Cowboys this week. And he says that Julio Jones is going to run all over the Cowboys. But anywho, we changed the order of the NFL picks. We used to do it with one person had 4 weeks in a row, but we broke that up. And since we broke that up, we've seen some changes because usually the last guy will be him and Han waiting and seeing who picks what, and then
Woo, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So each week we'll have a new person in the back and a new person in the front, so that we'll change it each week. So no kind of people kind of sitting in the back waiting for everybody's pick. So I'm picking first this week.
Good.
Black Thor is second. Ice Water is third, and Pop is picking last. He already puts his picks in. I always get his picks before the show because Pop, even though he talks a lot of trash, he is camera shy. He doesn't like to be on the camera.
Can I say one thing real quick? Can I throw one thing in there real quick?
Sure.
I was not prepared to do this, but I'm going to do it now because this seems like it goes with the theme of revenge. So I wasn't going to do it. You notice you can't see my shirt, right? But since we going there, it's an old Fred Sanford thing. I want my daddy. Revenge, baby. Dish cold, the dish serve cold.
I gotta get that shirt. I gotta get that shirt.
That's a shirt of all shirts right there, baby.
and another sitcom, and away we go. The first game of this week is one of the toughest games that I had to sit down and think about who's going to win this game. Between the kicker grabbing his leg last week in Cincinnati and debacle with the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield, I picked the Cincinnati Bengals to beat Cleveland Browns this Thursday, which is tomorrow. Black, who you got?
Yeah, this one is tough, man. It's because I was really impressed with the way Cincinnati carried themselves last week with the new quarterback. And the Cleveland Browns are a mess, but I don't know if I could trust Cincinnati's defense. But you know what? I'm gonna roll with them. I got to roll with Cincinnati because I'm not feeling good about Cleveland. I'm just not feeling good. I don't think this team is behind this coach. Their defense is probably what it should be. So I'm gonna go Cincinnati, man. I think Joe Burrows is out to prove something, and this team is behind him.
Yeah. Hey, Ice, I know you were watching that game and watching the Ravens, and Odell Beckham, I hear, stunk it up in more ways than one on that field. Who are you picking this week?
You know, last week I was the only person to pick the Bengals, and they should have won if it not been for a damn referee's call, which is ridiculous. That game was over, and I'm glad Joe Burrow survived because Lord knows I was nervous as hell for him. And he just at times he looked real juvenile, like when he threw that forward pass, it was like damn, the game's over, bro. So I like him that he's starting to develop, but it's in Cleveland, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can't do it, bro. I want to. I hope they win some games, Cincinnati that is, but I got to pick I got to pick Cleveland. I think that they were so humiliated by what happened with Baltimore, and now they just got to get some get back. Unfortunately, the Cincinnati defense struggles big time. The opponent ran all over them, and I think you're going to see a lot of Chubb. You're going to see a lot of Hunt. Baker is going to try to throw a couple passes because he needs to find Odell Beckham. There's a lot of crap going on. They're going to find a way. And I want the Bengals to win, but I can't do it, man. I cannot. On Thursday night, too, national TV, nah. Browns are bad, but I don't think that bad just yet. So the Browns are going to redeem themselves.
Okay. All right. Pop went with Cincinnati. He loves Joe Burrow. So he said, hey, I'm going with the young quarterback. I liked what I saw last week, so he's going with Cincinnati. Next game on tap is Jacksonville versus Tennessee. And Tennessee didn't cut their kicker, right?
No, I don't think so.
Jacksonville, baby. I'm going with Jacksonville on this one because that was a debacle. And we were saying before the show started, when the New England Patriots cut a player or let a player go, don't pick him up. The rest of the NFL, they had used that player up, and he is no good to anybody. And you saw that kicker with Tennessee on Monday night. They should have went for 2 for some of those extra points instead of going with that kicker. And he probably saved his job with that game-winning kick. But the 4 before that, oh my God. Black, who you got?
I looked at what Indianapolis did with that old broken down quarterback. They may want to start the backup quarterback. With that being said, I'm going with seeing how Jacksonville kind of played against them. I'm thinking Tennessee, man. They're home. That running game is still going to be powerful. If they pound them enough, they won't even need that kicker, bro. I'm taking Tennessee at home.
All right. Nice water. Who you got?
Yeah, Jacksonville, you know, they impressed last week. We were surprised that they won. I know I was. But and they feeling pretty good, but now they're about to come back to reality. The Tennessee defense is going to kind of wake up a little bit. They're going to pound Derrick Henry all day. Jacksonville defense haven't shown us anything recently, so I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Okay, I guess I'm the lone wolf on this. Pop is going with Tennessee also. So good luck, guys.
Did you see the suit that I can't think of the running back name, the brother from Tennessee wore to the game?
No.
If you have the chance, Google it, man. He wore a suit, pants and coat with everyone that has passed through the police brutality. Their names.
I did.
Yeah, it was nice. It was real nice.
Yeah. Nice little tribute. Next game on tap is Detroit at Green Bay. I'm still pissed off at Detroit on how that game ended. The running back Swift, how do you drop a pass? You're going to fall in the end zone. And me and Ice talked about it Monday night on Monday night show, is that he was trying to run before he caught the ball. Cardinal sin when you're catching passes. You learn that in Little League, in Pee Wee football. Catch the ball, then make your move. I got to go with Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is doing Aaron Rodgers things. Can't trust Detroit anymore in their quarterback. Just can't trust them anymore. Black?
I was pissed off watching some of this game, man. Green Bay scored twice in 90 seconds in Minnesota. They should have called the game off right then and there. Now it's like in the end of the second quarter. There's no way I'm not taking Green Bay in this game. Detroit, please. They may not even want to show up. Green Bay.
Yeah. Ice?
Now, you sound like you was describing the Detroit game. You said three times in 90 seconds, something like that.
Sound like Trubisky praise right there.
Yeah. I'm like, no. So, unfortunately, I 2 times I should have won games last week, but it's out of my control. Actually 3, but it is what it is. But so no, I can't go with Detroit. Aaron Rodgers is proving a point, trying to tell me he don't care about me either. So he's gonna prove to us that he doesn't need another receiver, and he's gonna prove to them that they made a damn mistake by drafting a quarterback. So Aaron Rodgers, and I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
All right, it's Green Bay across the board. Pop went with Green Bay also. Next game on tap is the Los Angeles Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure what's happening with the Eagles, but Hurt may be starting sooner than later for this Eagles team because Wentz is just not the guy, and that defense is not the defense that won the Super Bowl. And we got to get Picho in here one day to talk about our Philadelphia Eagles. I don't see them winning this week, so I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams, who actually pounded Dallas for 40 rushes last week with the 3-headed monsters with their running backs, which was very impressive that they were running the ball.
Yeah, I watched. Had the pleasure of being stuck watching some of that game with the Eagles and Washington football team. I'm going to say this, man, before I even pick my pick. I turned away from it at some point. But before I did, I saw Haskins running, and he tripped over his own foot. That brother got to get together, man. I don't know what's going on. He got to get together. He has an opportunity to lead that franchise, and I know he's from Ohio State, Ice, and I'm not trying to pick on him, but he's got to sharpen up and get it together, man, because in the league now where we got more black quarterbacks, bro, play. Get your act together in the offseason, get together, man. You got to come stronger than that. But that being said, Wentz has basically turned out to be a bust, in my opinion. And it's no surprise, like you said, that backup quarterback may be playing sooner than we think. This is easy, man. I got to take the Rams. And the Rams look pretty good on Monday night.
Yeah. Ice?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, wow. This is interesting. I thought this was going to be straight across the board. I guess not. This is a whole different thing than what I thought was going to come to fruition. But anyway, the Rams pounded the Cowboys. They kept moving the ball and all that too. But I don't believe in their quarterback. I don't believe the hype. I know they kept running the ball. They got a 3-headed monster at tailback or running back, and they used 2 guys big time. But I think Philadelphia's got a little something to prove. They have a decent backup tight end in Goddard. They have a lot of things they can do. So I'm gonna go with Philadelphia. I think there's no way they can go 0-2. I think the Rams got hyped up because of their little opening ceremony at the stadium and all that. But now you come to Philadelphia and it's not gonna be good. So anyway, Philadelphia.
So they didn't have anything to prove with Washington, but now they got something to prove with the Rams.
Well, let me just say this. Of course with Washington, but I say no. They got more to prove now because you don't want to go 0-2.
Yeah.
0-1 is one thing. You can get over that. 0-2. 0-2.
You got to win the games in your division. You got to.
I feel you, but you got to win this game now because you can't go 0-2. That's what I'm saying.
Don't question the pick, baby. Don't question the pick.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with mine. Look, I want my jacket. I'm good with mine. I'm straight. I know. Look, my shit. I'm good. I ain't cheating off nobody. I ain't looking over here. I know. Hey, I'm good. I don't know what you doing, but how you trying to convince nobody? I'll put that Zorro on you. I'm trying to tell you. Look what, like Eric Sermon, I'll put the E. Like Eric Sermon on your back. So here we go.
All right. Pop is going with the Los Angeles Rams.
Good. Hey.
And so it's you're the lone wolf on that one. The next game on tap, this is going to be very interesting. I call it the Queen of the Pigs game. It's the New York Giants versus the Chicago Bears. And I watched that game with Ice, part of that game with Ice, and I said, man, the Giants look exactly like the Cowboys last year. They give it to the running back. The running back gets 6 yards, one of the best running backs in the league, and then you start flinging the ball all over the place. They look exactly, and who is their offensive coordinator? So it makes sense. So with that being said, I hate to make this pick. I gotta go with the Bears on the tune. I gotta go with the Bears.
How you doing it, man? I don't know how you do it.
The Pittsburgh Steelers defense was on point. Wait till they meet the Chicago Bears defense with that same tired Dallas Cowboy offense that the Giants are running. So I gotta go with the Bears this week. I hate to do it. Trubisky, play the first 3 quarters like you played the 4th quarter last week. Please, 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 please. Black?
I feel sorry for Saquon Barkley, man. I just do.
I do too.
Yeah, I do. I really do. That brother is a talented running back. His numbers are not going to be there this year, and hopefully he just doesn't get hurt, bro, because there's just no way. I mean, I looked at part of that game. He had -8 yards rushing.
Yeah.
That ain't the steel curtain he was going up against. You got to get somebody to block for you at some point, man. Somebody got to block for you. That being said, I'll take the Bears easily. And I'm just hoping if the Giants have a bad season, that if one of them got to go, they're not probably going to fire the head coach. That general manager has to go. Because all he's done is pick Saquon Barkley. I could have done that. You got to put some better talent on the field, bro. Much better talent.
Yeah, and I still don't believe in their quarterback. I still don't. I know he took over for Eli Manning. I still don't believe in him. He hasn't convinced me yet.
There were better options. That's for sure.
Yeah. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, I don't know. That Daniel Jones, hey. But here's the ironic thing about it. Why is it when your team struggle, you want to blame Dallas? Dallas don't have anything. That's the reason why they let that man go. And I told you. I said, look, y'all picked up him. It's a reason why we let him go, why Dallas cut him. Why they go, he's Jason Garrett. No, it's Dallas's problem. No.
I didn't agree with that selection at all.
When I saw that, I was like, okay. I said, so now you feel the pain. Now you know. Anyway, with that being said, it does not feel good to pick Chicago, but hell, it's like the presidential election. Lesser two evils. I'm gonna roll with the Bears.
And Pop is the lone wolf on this particular game. He's going with the New York Giants in this particular game. So he has some picks that he could spare, and maybe it's a pick that we can pick up from him on this loss, hopefully. But if the Bears drop this one, oh boy, I'll be happy as a Giants fan, but I will not be happy with losing to Pop, him gaining another game, because he's like about 3 games ahead. We got to give halfway through this. We'll give the record for those who didn't pick it up on Twitter and on my Instagram. But the next game on tap is San Francisco versus the New York Jets. And I'm going with San Francisco. They didn't do well last week. I think they got surprised by Arizona. Arizona is a improving team and really kind of hit them in the mouth and took that game from them. Garofalo did not look good whatsoever, and it didn't look like the Super Bowl runner-up that we were expecting to see. I think a couple of people got hurt, too. I think the tight end got hurt for San Francisco.
Yeah.
So looking for them to bounce back, coming to New York, good road trip for them. I'll go with San Francisco. Black?
They will bounce back, but San Francisco is in trouble. The tight end is definitely out. And Garoppolo's not out. He's not the quarterback that they thought he was. They gave him his money way too soon, and that's what's going to be the problem. The coach doesn't trust him, and the sooner the general manager's not going to trust him. But they help take care of the Jets. The Jets, man, are just in trouble, bro. Weston got hurt in the 2nd quarter, the running back, and they put him let him go back in the 3rd quarter with a hamstring. Are you kidding me? Bell. But that's how ugly that game was, man. So the Jets are just basically buying time for they fired their coach, in my opinion. But 49ers will win this one easily.
All right, so I'm going to go with San Francisco. Last week they were a little shaky. Arizona played their butts off. They're excited. That can happen in the first week. But San Francisco, I don't think they're going to be as great a team as most people thought they would be. But I think they have enough talent still to win some games. I know you guys talked about Sanu going over there. I know you talked about him not doing well. But the fact that he got back with Shanahan when they went from the Atlanta days might help him a little bit. If nothing else, he's going to probably help them guys understand the offense better. I mean, I don't know how many passes he's going to catch, but he's going to be good for the locker room, and he can teach them how to run that offense properly. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know if that means anything to them, but anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to take San Francisco over the Jets.
Yeah, because sometimes when teams play in the Super Bowl, whether or not you win or lose, there's a little hangover period when it comes to the beginning of the season, and then teams say, oh, okay, this team is in trouble. But I just think San Francisco is too good of a team. And to me, they were one of the deepest teams last year. So I think they will get it together and really kind of pull it together. I know that Pop picked San Francisco also. I just think they got surprised by Arizona. I didn't expect Arizona to look that good. And I said last week on the show that I wanted to see what improvements Kyler Murray made from last year. And he made some great improvements. He didn't stay in the pocket too long when he knew he didn't have anybody to pass it to. He started running a little bit, which is an advantage for him. Use those legs. Get down when you have a defender in front of you, so you get your yards, get down, and stay safe. So he's improved from last year based on this game, and they're playing the NFC champions. And so they really represented really well with the NFC champions. All right, next game on tap, I'm trying to wait for Black, and there's Black there, is the Denver Broncos versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so I watched the game with the Denver Broncos Monday. And they looked okay, but they hung in there with Tennessee. And I don't know if it was just Tennessee is not that good anymore or Denver is getting better. But I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think they're quite there yet as that team in the AFC North, but I think they're good enough that they can pull off this game, especially away from Denver. Black, the game between Denver and Pittsburgh. Who you got?
I don't trust Denver with that head coach, man. So I got to go Pittsburgh. Just for that reason alone, man. I just got to go Pitt.
Yeah, they talked about the Denver coach, which I thought he shouldn't have been a head coach anyway. He is really showing that the job is really over his head, and he just needs to stick to defensive coordinator because he needs somebody to maybe come in there and help him keep track of time. There were times he could have called a timeout, and he just didn't do it. It's like the game is just coaching the game and being the overall coach is just way above him. What are your thoughts about that, Black?
No, I agree. It's not the first time it showed his head, man. It happened last year. And he just doesn't seem like he gets it. He doesn't seem like he understands. And I kind of hate to bring this up, but it's the same guy that said that there's no racism in the NFL when it comes to hiring black coaches. So, he put that on top of everything, man. I'm sure the players at some point are going to start to kind of look at him with a side eye. And I think you hit the nail right in the head. He might be a good defensive coordinator. He might have been that in the past, but when it comes down to being the man in charge at his age, he just can't carry it, bro. He just can't carry it.
So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh as well. Denver has some issues. Philip Lindsay, the running back, got hurt early. They brought in, was it Melvin Gordon the third or whatever? He did all right, but they just need Lindsay. They need to be able to run the ball, and they don't really have a lot of offensive weapons. So they have a still solid defense, but I think Pittsburgh is kind of on one. Juju is coming around, and they don't look great because they had, Snell was the running back, came in for Connor. So Ben is kind of warming up a little bit, but I think they'll have enough to win this game.
One of the things I noticed about the game, Ice, is that Ben is still Ben, but it may not work for him to get through the whole season. He holds the ball too long. I've been saying that for years about Ben, and he trusts his front line, but he can't keep patting the ball back there in the pocket anymore. Teams are coming after you, and they're only giving you 2.5 to 3 seconds to throw that ball, and he likes to go through all the different progressions and then hit the player that's open or the best option, and that may not be there for him anymore. So when I saw the game Monday night where he got hit holding the ball and he got up limping, I'm like, this dude's not going to make it through a whole season. And this is Denver. Denver, their defense really doesn't scare me. And so he's going to face some better defenses basically in that division also. You got the Baltimore defense. You got the Cleveland defense with those guys coming. And that's going to be a rivalry game because you saw what happened last year with the fight with Randolph last year. So they're going to be trying to get back on some of that, or a revenge game, so to speak, for losing Garrett for the rest of the season. But I just see that, he may not make it to the end of the season. And hopefully they're getting the second string quarterback ready to go. Pop is going with the Pittsburgh Steelers also. Okay. Next game on tap is Minnesota versus Indianapolis. I'm going to go with Indianapolis at home. I still don't trust Kirk Cousins. And I remember what you said Sunday night when we taped your show when Black Men Talk, is that, you know, with Minnesota, they were way out of that game with Green Bay. I saw some of the stats and saw some of the highlights. The score didn't indicate how bad they got really beat out there. But it's just not the same team that made to the playoffs and steps away from a Super Bowl. So I got to go with Indianapolis, even though I don't like Rivers and he tends to throw too many interceptions. I'm going to go with Indianapolis and with the Indianapolis Colts at home. Black?
For the main reason I can't bet on Minnesota twice and lose twice, I just got to go with the Colts, man. I'm not sure, but I just don't trust them. I think Zimmer, speaking of coaches, man, to me, since he's been in Minnesota, he has showed me nothing. He always blamed the coordinators. He does this, he does that. But at some point, man, it has to stop at his feet. And I looked at them Sunday. A lot of teams played well prepared, even though they didn't have a preseason. That team was not ready to play Green Bay. Green Bay punched him, kicked him in the mouth, turned around, ripped the helmet off, and threw it to the sideline, man. So like you said, the score was not indicative of what happened on the field. They're just not a good team, bro. I got to go with the Colts.
All right. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, it's tough because I saw Minnesota and Cousins is trying to do his thing, but they just didn't seem together. They didn't seem like they had enough weapons. Everybody talking about Dalvin Cook did a little bit, but Green Bay just kind of went up and took care of business and handled them. The Colts have usually play well at home. If they can keep their quarterback out the way and just let some things happen. He found some new weapons in Paris Campbell, former Buckeye, caught a few passes, and they lost, I think, is it Mack, the running back? He's out for the season, but they have two more capable. They have the rookie, and they have the other guy, two more capable, Hines. They have the other couple capable guys that still are going to make it happen, and their defense is coming on. So for that matter, I think I'm going to choose the Colts to win over the lovely Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. Pop pick went with Minnesota.
Ooh.
Maybe he saw something we didn't see.
Okay. I like that.
That might be game number 2 that we catch up.
Keep seeing that, Pops.
Game number 2. All right, Carolina and Tampa Bay. This was a tough one because I got to see Tampa Bay last week. And I remember me and Ice on Monday night talking, and I asked a question. Was it just Tom Brady in New England or the system Tom Brady played in? Because it didn't look like the same Tom Brady against that New Orleans defense last Sunday. So Carolina played better than I expected against the Raiders. I picked them to win. And so I'm going to continue to go with Carolina with this against Tampa Bay. Until Tampa Bay proves that they can win a game and that defense can prove that they can stop somebody, I'm going with the other team, Carolina. Black?
Yeah, I'll just, I hear you with that, and it's not because of Tom Brady, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay only because they're home. I think they're going to learn a little bit from week 1. I think at some point, Arians has to realize this is not Tom Brady from 10 years ago. You can't have him throw passes that his 43-year arm just can't do. So you're going to have to kind of shorten things up a little bit, rely a little more on the run. I think I'm thinking, but Arians like to air it out. But if they can kind of run it a little more this weekend, I think they can take a win. Even though Carolina played strong last week, I don't see them going on a road and beating Tampa Bay. I'll take Tampa Bay.
All right. Ice?
Yeah, Carolina, they look pretty decent. They move the ball. Bridgewater trying to move the ball around. McCaffrey's touching the ball like he has, getting a lot of touches. But they can't stop anybody. That was the problem with the defense. They can't stop anybody. And Tampa Bay playing New Orleans, even though they kind of got rocked a little bit, Tom Brady still kind of got himself under control a little bit. And the Saints are a decent team. They're a decent team. So with that being said, I think I said before, I think their issues are more chemistry related. Mike Evans is still kind of messing with a sore hamstring. And I think you're going to see Tampa Bay kind of get it together and turn it around this week. Plus, too, say what you want to, and I might only last for 5 games, but that damn Leonard Fournette looked like he wanted to run that ball hard a little bit. Looked like he wanted to play a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
He always looks like he wants to run that ball, but until he gets hurt. And I was asking Ice this last Monday, Black, what happened to Gronk? I didn't see Gronk out there.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I kind of paid attention to him to be unretired and come on the field. He ran well. Just that here again, they ran that straight goal play for him from a tight end position. He was triple teaming Tom trying to get in the ball. You can't. And that's another thing I think they're doing. They're listening to Tom Brady trying to bring over some New England. No, you just got to basically realize where he is at 43 and coach around it. Stop trying to do all this and be this finesse team. We see what happened to finesse with the Clippers. You got to coach what you got. You got to coach what you have. Coach what you have, man. Stop trying to make it, live up to expectation where everybody else is saying. Focus in what's inside your locker room. Tom Brady is, he's 43.
Yeah.
Some of those passes may be in his mind to throw. His arm just can't do it anymore, bro.
Well, I think he realized, too, last week that you don't have to just work a word with Gronk. That damn O.J. Howard is a baller.
Yes.
And he showed up last week when nobody else thought he would.
Yeah.
You keep looking at him, he won't make plays. I think he wanted to play with this team. They talked about trading for the longest time. And he said, I'm ready to show up because I think we can do great things. So, yeah, watch out for O.J. Howard. I think he's going to be one of those secret weapons nobody's paying attention to because they're focusing on so many other guys.
Okay.
They ran 2 tight end screens for Gronk Sunday, bro. Tight end screens for Gronk.
Yeah.
What you trying to get him killed the first weekend, the first Sunday? They going for his knees, bro. Come on now. 2 tight. I'll leave it there.
And Pop went with Tampa Bay also, so I'm the lone wolf on that pick for that team, those 2 teams. Next game on Tuesday, I might be giving one game back. We'll see. Buffalo at Miami. I'm going with Buffalo with the Buffalo Mafia up there. They'll be in Miami, but this is one of those games where I said about the preseason that I wouldn't be surprised if Miami beat Buffalo, but I think Buffalo is a better team. So I got to go with Buffalo, even though they're going to Miami. Black?
You know what? I don't know how this quarterback is getting it done, but he's getting it done. I just don't know. I mean, smoke, mirrors, Ouija board, whatever he's doing, they're winning some games in Buffalo, so who am I to kind of question it? I'll take Buffalo. Miami's not ready yet, and I think if that other quarterback from Alabama is kind of ready, he might be starting sooner than he wanted to start because Fitzpatrick was horrible on Sunday, bro. Horrible.
Yeah. He's not a starter. He's a guy that comes off the bench, and he can give you a spark. But as far as starting quarterback, it doesn't work for him. Ice?
Yeah, Buffalo's defense has been kind of showing. Last year they showed a little signs of life. I think they'll do that again. They'll be tough versus Miami. You got John Brown. You got some wide receivers. You got Diggs over there, and they got like another wide receiver. They got Allen has some weapons. He still like to run too damn much for my taste. But he need to start using his weapons, trying to turn into the next Cam Newton. But I think still they're going to have enough to beat Miami. And I think the second time, though, if Tua's quarterbacking and Miami starts to develop, you still may not want to play them down the line. But not right now, so I'm going to choose Buffalo.
Okay. It's Buffalo across the board. Pop goes to Buffalo also. Here's before we go to this game, Atlanta and Dallas, I want to give you the record so far in our NFL picks. Pop had a 13-3 record, and I will be putting on the ticker down below us. He had a 13-3 record, very good week. Came in first. I came in second with an 11-5 record. And the twins over here, Black and Ice Water, came in at 10-6. Decent, but not second and first place. That's tied for third.
Going down. You ever go in the elevator and they say going down?
Yeah. That there used to be a phrase when we first started this that when Black Thor and I would go at one another and kind of, pick at one another. There's a phrase he used to always say, "You see what I did this week? You see what I did this week? I'm a man. I'm a man." And I used to tell him, I said, I didn't know they handed out trophies in week 1. So I'm now going to transfer from Black Thor to you and your dad. So, gentlemen, I didn't know they handed out trophies in week 1.
Anyway, just saying, off to a good fast start. It's always good. It's always
again,
good.
Again, I want my daddy's record.
All right, and away we go back to the picks. Atlanta versus Dallas. I'm going to go with Dallas at home in this one.
They're going to lose now.
I'm going with Dallas at home on this one. They didn't look too bad Monday night, but I think they'll make some improvements. But Dak, we've been saying it all along, he has to ball out, or if he doesn't, here comes the backup. And the Dallas kind of looked like the same Dallas team. I didn't know they changed coaches based on what they play. So maybe it's not the coach. Maybe it's the personnel. I don't know. Black?
To me, it's the Dallas mentality. I will say it's about Dak. That last pass he threw that was called for offensive interference, I got to give him credit. That was a nice pass, bro. That pass was laid in. He dropped in, and he threw some good passes. I'm not going to take that away from him. But I think the problem, to me, with Dallas mentally is, for some reason, when they play a team that matches them physically, it gets in their head. It just does. If they can't get out in front of you and lead you and dominate you early, they just seem to give up as the game progressed. And you saw that Sunday night. As the game kind of went along, they just started doing some things that you start to question. And for that reason, I think they'll beat Atlanta because they know Atlanta coming in, Atlanta's not good. So they're going to jump out early and force Atlanta to basically fight to win. And they're at home. And so they'll win this one. But when they play good competition, for some reason, and I guess that's why they was 8-8 last year, they don't step up to their competition. They basically will roll over teams that's not competitive enough for them. But when they play someone good, the Cowboys, for some reason, mentally, they just don't get it done.
Okay. Ice?
Yeah, last week, though, the Rams played bully ball with the Cowboys. They stopped everything they like to do. Ezekiel Elliott couldn't do anything. Aaron Donald was all over in the mix, causing havoc in the passes that Dak tried to throw. If somebody was always there. And then they beat him up on the offensive side with that two-headed monster at running back where they kept pounding. So it was a very physical game. Dallas never really caught up. And then the referees didn't help the situation either. But that's another story. You can only do what you can do. But with all that being said, I watched a little Atlanta, and I watched them play Seattle, and Russell Wilson was phenomenal. They didn't even run the ball against them. They need to. They just threw the ball around. And I don't believe they have a decent defense. So I think that's going to allow Dallas to kind of get back on track because you're going to have one of my favorites now is kind of catch. He was second on team in catches last week. It's that CeeDee Lamb. I think he's due for a breakout. So I think Dallas will handle them. And I think Ezekiel Elliott would start to get a little more healthier, get some more runs because Atlanta, they're known for the shootout, and I think that's what we're going to end up having. It's going to be a lot of points scored in that game because both of their defense kind of suck right now. So I'm going to choose Dallas, though, to outscore Atlanta.
And I know Dallas is missing a linebacker who I think had a shoulder injury in the last game. Pop is, like I said, he said Julio Jones is going to have a breakout game against Dallas, and he's going to run over Dallas. That's number 3. And he's choosing Atlanta, so that might be number 3. We might have some we might catch up some ground with Pop leading the picks from last week. Next game on tap is Washington versus Arizona. Even though Washington won against Philly, I still don't believe that Washington was that good. And Arizona impressed me. Kyler Murray really kind of stepped up from last year. And instead of just sitting in that pocket and waiting to be tackled or find himself in trouble, if he doesn't have anybody to throw to, he's running safely, getting down, not getting hit. Like that. Arizona at home. Black?
He targeted Hopkins 16 times, bro. 16. Think about that for a second. 16. And he caught 15 of them. Bill O'Brien, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, bro. You're an idiot. I mean, it's just what it is. I owe Kyler Murray an apology because, bro, I thought you just wouldn't play baseball. But you proved me wrong, man. He's going to take over down the field. I would not be surprised because they always played San Francisco tough last year. But I would not be surprised, man. His name pops up for MVP. I'm not saying he's going to win it this year, but his name pops up for MVP, bro. Because he has it all in the makings. And with Hopkins there, oh, please. Yeah, Arizona.
Yeah. Ice?
Yeah, Hopkins showed you that he's worth the money, and they're getting their money's worth. he had career high in catches, man, last week. And it's like you watch Houston, and did anybody catch? Fuller did well, but did they have 15 catches total?
No, I don't even know.
You had Cobb, and I mean it was just a mess. But yeah, and you can't use Hopkins anyway. I know Arizona can, so I'm gonna choose Arizona. Washington kind of got by. They might have just got through it because of what was going on with their coach, kind of playing for him or whatever. But I think it's gonna be too much. Your quarterback is getting a lot better in Arizona, so I think they will win. It would be nice though if you can get Larry Fitzgerald a little bit of love too. I know you got Hopkins, but that brother been playing a long time. Let him get in the end zone once or twice this year.
Yeah, it's Arizona across the board, and shout out to Riverboat Ron. Hope you heal quickly. That's a tough situation to be under, but your team played inspired football, and maybe they have something to play for. But it's Arizona across the board. Next game on tap is Baltimore at Houston. I'm going with Baltimore. Even though Houston has a lot more rest because they played a few days earlier, Watson's going to need that rest because he was getting beat up and battered because he's trying to do too much, getting hit because he doesn't have the receiving core that he needs to get the ball to. And he's taking a lot of chances. I don't see him as a guy that's going to be sliding too much. And I hope he makes it through the season. With that being said, I got to go with Baltimore with that defense. And Jackson is improving every year, and it's scary. Black?
I'm just going to say this, man. I know sometimes it's easy to grab the money, but Watkins was upset when they traded Hopkins. And I was surprised when he signed this extension. I was surprised, man. I think he should have played that out and went to another team, bro. I would have either played that out or went to the owner and said, one of us got to go. Either I'm leaving when it's time to go or the coach is leaving. I'm sorry, man, because they're going to, like you said, they're going to get him hurt. There's no talent offensive in that team. There's none. And he's going to be out there flopping around. I hope he makes it this season, but that's sad because he's a good quarterback. He's in a bad position. He has his money, but he's in a bad position. With that being said, Baltimore is going to go in there and show improve, and they're going to pound him. I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah. And he's the type of player, Watson, who likes to put the team on his shoulder and win it, and that may not be the right decision going at some of these defenses that are coming at you, and they want to take shots at you.
You got to have a team to put on your shoulder first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the problem with Houston, though, is the fact that they had trouble with mobile quarterbacks. You saw what happened last week, and now you get another one. And with the weapons, I mean, you got guys coming in, making things happen. Second string running backs scoring twice. I think Ingram's gonna try to get back on track. Hell, Willie Snead looked good last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I feel about him. But Willie Snead and Hollywood Brown, so many weapons. I think it's gonna be too much for Houston. And you're gonna have Watson probably frustrated here real soon because he's gonna need somebody to make some plays. But the one thing is, Johnson, the running back, played halfway decent last week, but it wasn't enough. But still, it damn sure won't be enough against Baltimore. Baltimore's on the road. I think they're trying to prove a point, so I'll choose Baltimore.
Is it me, or has J.J. Watt lost not a step but a few steps because he just can't get after folks on that defense anymore?
He's not what he used to be. He's not, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And neither is that team, though. I mean, the unit's not. And that's why I said last week, you got all that speed running around against them last week. It was like, it's too fast.
Yeah.
And when you don't have other guys to kind of help you along, J.J. Watt can be great as he wants to be, but you can't chase people down. Same way with Aaron Donald, he's great in space, but other than you ask him to do more than that, you're gonna be in trouble. And I think that speed, because Lamar Jackson last week against Cleveland was like, what? I don't even need to run. He was just dumping. Tight end Andrews looked real good. Man, they got some weapons. They are hungry, and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, he's as happy as he can be. So a lot of weapons. They're having fun, and I think they'll take care of business.
And where's Dobbins from?
I'm gonna let you say it, bro. I don't need to say it.
The Ohio State.
Yeah. I don't need to say it. I'm gonna let you say that.
Next game on tap is Kansas City Chiefs against the LA Chargers. Got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chargers, they kind of got lucky and won a game this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. But the Kansas City Chiefs, they just have, to me, so many weapons on that team. And then they added the LSU rookie coming on that team and got a running game. And it's like they just said, okay, we'll watch the game from the Super Bowl. This is what we need to improve. We're right back at it again. And I know it's only one game, but they're looking real good. They don't even need a preseason. Black?
I'm going to say this, man. The enemy, he has to, it would just be nice to see him get a head coaching job, because just the mere fact he's under Andy Reid, because Andy Reid, I know he's just won his first Super Bowl, but as an offensive mind, there is none better in NFL, bro. And if you've been on him for a couple of years, it had to rough off on you, because I watched some of the plays they ran Thursday night. I'm like, you can't defend it. You just can't defend. I seen the tight end go in and cut, and then you had the receiver cut like 5 yards up from him. Who are you? They forced the cornerback. Who are you going to cover?
Right.
They put you in a situation. They put your defense in a situation. Okay, you're going to take this. You're going to take that. If you take this, I'm going to kill you with that. And it's like they're doing some things offensively, man, that I just haven't seen no other team do, and it's going to be tough. I mean, if they stay healthy, they're going to be tough. So easy, Kansas City. I don't know what the Chargers are doing, man. I have no idea.
Yeah, my boys with the Chargers, and they barely won ice. So, who you got in this game?
You know they shouldn't have won that damn game. That was some bull. The man, but they both going after the ball, tussling. Then all of a sudden, because he catch it, and he's the last one to push off, you take that touchdown in the way. Anyway, there must have been a lot of money down on the Bengals to lose that game. Anyway, but we don't have to worry about that this week. Chargers are playing. They're decent, but I tried to tell y'all, they're not making it's kind of like in Cleveland. They're not making the right calls for Tyrod Taylor. He's trying to do it, but they just don't look like they have enough players right now to move the ball. And, when you play somebody like KC, man, they just going to tear them up. Because, I mean, Mahomes is just like doing this thing, and then their defense is coming on a little bit, that they're so talented that they just keep getting better and better. I mean, we all know that what we really want to see is Baltimore versus Kansas City at one point. That's all we really want to see. But until we get to wherever that is going, then we'll have to settle for these other individual performances. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs to win this game.
It's KC across the board. I get a feeling that teams that are going to be playing KC this year are kind of gauging where their team is playing against the defending world champions. So they're going to play them. Maybe a couple of teams will beat them, but they're playing them to say, okay, this is where we need to improve after we play this particular team. Because Kansas City, the Chiefs are coming with a juggernaut of not only on offense, but defense. They're doing some things on defense that is really, 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 really nice to see in the NFL. And, like, they had no letdown. Usually there's a honeymoon period with the world champs. They're not showing that in the first game of the season, where we expected to be a lot of mistakes and all that stuff. Not them. They just stepped in, and just like it was a regular season, another game right after the Super Bowl. The next game on tap is New England versus Seattle. I'm going with Seattle and the 12th man in Seattle. How can you go against Russell Wilson at this particular point? Even though Cam had a decent game with New England, they're not facing, the team they played last week. Seattle's for real. And Seattle, to me, last week was kind of showing off that, hey, we got some studs over here too, and we're going to make some noise in the NFC. Black?
Man, see, I didn't see that coming with Seattle this weekend, man. They showed me something, bro. Don't be misled. I like Cam. Don't be misled about that win by Miami.
Mm-hmm.
If you run him 15 times again, he may not make the next week, bro. Cam ain't 25 no more. that Superman stuff. But anyway, Seattle was very impressive with their receivers, the way he sling the ball around. Wow. So I'm easy Seattle. I just understand how, when they put this season together, knowing Tom Brady wasn't going to be there. Just imagine if Stickum was playing, whatever that guy Stickum was playing for the Patriots. How you got them playing on Sunday night, bro? Against the Seattle City. How? That's not a Sunday night game. You got to be kidding me. Who was sleeping at the wall with that one?
So you're going with Seattle.
Seattle, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ice.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, man. That's all you can say. Man, he has some weapons. He has DK Metcalf over there, couple tight ends. They're running the ball, moving it that way. Defense is coming up. And don't forget, down the line, they'll probably pick up, even though they re-signed him, I don't know how much he's going to give him, but if they can keep him out of trouble, you might have Josh Gordon as well at some point. So, I'm just saying, I don't know. But the whole point of it is, regardless of the fact that Russell Wilson is on fire, when that guy is happy, man, in his life, he plays his butt off. He plays his butt off regardless, but his wife just had a baby. Dude is like on cloud 9, taking care of another man's kid. He's feeling himself right now. So kudos to him. I love it. That's why we mentioned last week, I was like, ain't no way they go to Jupiter. He going to get it in. That's my guy. I like Russell Wilson. He plays real hard, and he's no nonsense, man. He don't need a lot of fanfare. He just plays the game. That's how you want a quarterback to be. You don't hear a lot about him. But, yeah, I'm going to choose Seattle to handle that business.
Yeah. A little footnote real quick on Gordon, man. I believe in everybody getting chances and chances. But at some point, man, you got to close the door. This brother just sold a Super Bowl ring a few months ago, or a few weeks ago. And I'm sorry, man. You got to see what it is, bro. I mean, it's at this point now, that's a career that would never be fulfilled. And it's like, damn. I mean, I know they want to do the right thing for him, but I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, I'll never say never, but I'm scared for him. Coming back in the league and not being able to wrestle with the demons that's within him. I'm scared for him that, at some particular point, you got to really focus on his health and him other than just playing the game. I know he's very talented, but man, how is he going to survive and what coping mechanisms can you help him with so he can have a life after football without, drugs and things of that sort. I know, Ice, you followed him closely when he was in Cleveland, things of that sort. What were your thoughts about him possibly coming back to football with Seattle?
Well, it's tough. I mean, the same issues he had in Cleveland are kind of popping up now, and I agree with you. He needs some help on himself. But, Seattle must see something. I mean, he always has that temperament, I guess, to say, yeah, I'm going to be better this time. I'm going to be better. And, Pete Carroll's a player's coach. He gives guys chances. So we'll see. I mean, if not, then one, it's not going to cost him a lot of money. So we know that, right? So He's going to be cheap on that end. So they're taking the flyer. He came last year for a little bit, got hurt. Then they said, we're going to try it again this time. So I don't know. I mean, maybe too, with football in his life and then keep him out of the madness. Because I think his issue is he's a social butterfly, and he can't, when he's in amongst the people, he can't help himself. So you almost have to lock him up somewhere and let him out on Sunday and bring him back to the halfway house, wherever the hell he got to go. But you just got to keep him together. So I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, I wish the best for him, but we know that this league is full of second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth chances. So they just keep going until it runs out where the guys can't literally perform anymore.
Right. Again, Seattle across the board. The last game on tap is New Orleans versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders really surprised me last week because I didn't expect them to outlast the Carolina Panthers. And so I think the Carolina Panthers are playing at home. So this is the first time that Las Vegas gets to play in their new stadium in Las Vegas. And hopefully when this pandemic is over, we all could take a trip to Las Vegas and spend some time there. One of us has taken a trip to Las Vegas already. For a good
pandemic.
But I'm going with New Orleans in this one. I think Breeze will bounce back and play better. I can't see that the Raiders are a team that could really kind of hold that offense also. So I'm going with New Orleans, even though they're the road dog. Black?
I'm gonna say this, man. I think it's gonna come a time when the quarterback Hill is gonna play more. And I've been saying this all in the offseason. They would have won that playoff game if they would have kept him in the game in the playoffs. He just moves that team better, man. He's just based on what the NFL is doing now, he moves the team better. He just does. I'm not taking nothing away from Drew Brees' arm, but he's another one, man. He's at the point in his age now in his life where your mind is telling your arm to do one thing, but your arm is not capable of getting it done, bro. And it's just you see it unraveling. So at some point, I think they're going to rely on Hill a little bit more. And I'll just say this to Sean Payton. When you bring Hill in, take Drew Brees off the field. Don't put him as a receiver. You're not fooling nobody. You're not fooling.
They fooled Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah.
They fooled them last week.
Yeah, you might be right about that. But this is an easy game. Even though the Raiders played well, it was Carolina, bro. It was Carolina. It wasn't New Orleans defense. It was Carolina. So I'm taking the Saints for this one.
All right. Ice?
Yeah, I think the New Orleans defense, though, is what's going to kind of help them win this game because by checking out a few things, it appears that Michael Thomas is going to be out for a few weeks, man. Mm-hmm. So with a high ankle sprain. So, Drew Brees going to have to find somebody to play wide receiver. Hill, that's your position, right? Anyway, you need somebody else, and Kamara just came back. So I think they'll move the ball and move around. They'll find a way to get it done, but I think their defense is going to be the reason why they win this game. And their defense has been on fire. They kind of beat up Brady, kind of let him know, no soup for you. I think they'll do the same thing against the Raiders in their new confines. So I'm going to choose the New Orleans Saints.
All right. Pop chooses the New Orleans Saints. It's across the board. Those are our picks. Any parting shots? Black, I'll go to you first. Any parting shots or last kind of thoughts about NFL or in sports in general?
I meant to bring this up Sunday, man. The young lady, the tennis player, man, that's just basically trailing blazers at this point. Sometimes her name escaped me. I think it's
Naomi Osaka.
Oh my goodness, man. I love this young lady, bro. I just can't say how much I love her enough. Just the way she's taking a political stand, the way she plays, when she lets no one gets in her head. Man, please, she's bringing me back to tennis. Because for a while I tuned out on tennis, but she's bringing me back, and that's my point there, bro. My last shot. I love her. I like the role that she's moving into. I love where she's going, and I'm gonna be watching her for years to come.
Okay, Ice. Any last thoughts?
All over the place, man. I got so many things on my mind. I want to talk about football, but I got one thing to say: the damn Clippers quit. They quit. They quit. Doc Rivers, come on, man. Come on. You got the best talent. The team was loaded. When they ran into issues where they found out that, here's what I'm saying. People say, well, Denver shot the ball well, Denver played. Yeah, I get that. But ain't no way in hell. When did they learn how to play defense? Dude, when anybody in the NBA is wide open, including Rondo, can hit a damn open three because they're in the NBA. They do it all day long. You have to get outside to the guys shooting threes. If you leave them open, they will score. They will beat you. You have to do that. And my problem with the issue with them is, how in the heck do you become so frustrated that you just start throwing the ball up? You act like you've never been there before. It's almost as if they expected to lose. There's nothing they can do when they face the adversity. Puma had connected with me. He kept sending me texts. Oh, they're in trouble now. And then he comes down to the end. He's like, well, that's ball game. I said, the ball game was over with 9 minutes to go. That's when the ball game was over. You can see it. You can see it. And Doc Rivers is like, dude, and he said, it's all on me. I mean, where's the chemistry? I mean, at some point, you got to tell guys, play your position. If they were, to me, on offense, they were too free-willing and whatever, and you got to play D. I mean, offense is cool, don't get me wrong. But in the NBA, when you come to playoffs, especially in the half court, you got to, and then you got to start knocking people around. The Joker's going to be the Joker, right? Joker's going to be the Joker. And Murray can ball, but nobody else is beating me. And with all that talent, all of these moves they made, it was fun to watch. I was definitely disappointed, big time, because I thought they could win it all. They should have won it all with all the talent, and they didn't show up.
The game was over when they had that little boycott and they voted that they didn't want to play in the bubble. That's when it was over. The Lakers showed up and they act like they want to play, but the Clippers, just a major disappointment. I said it Monday night. You have all that talent, but they don't know their role on that team. None of these guys know their role, and then they were standing around with each other. And Paul George, man. It's something to be said with all these players, these professional players gonna want to play with their friends. Sometimes that's not the best idea. Kawhi Leonard was hot to go out to LA, and I gotta have Paul George to go out to LA, and it was just kind of funny to watch them two sit there on the sidelines as the game was going on, the end of the game, and them sitting there like, we were supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals, and it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. So quit telling me that Paul George is a top 10 player. He's not. Maybe he used to be, but he's not. And it seems like we talked about it Monday too, Ice, is that some players, the moment is just too big for them. The moment is just too big for them. And it wasn't big for Kawhi, but Kawhi didn't have the supporting cast or the folks that knew their roles that when they were in Toronto as opposed to LA. It just didn't work, the chemistry. It reminded me, and I was talking to my dad about it earlier, it reminded me of the Philadelphia 76ers back in the 70s. We had a 2-0 lead on the Portland Trailblazers with all that talent and then lose 4 straight. That's what it reminded me of. It's like, who plays the different roles when they make the adjustments to your adjustments, and then they just take it to you. And Denver just took it to them. Wasn't afraid, wasn't scared, just took it to them. How can you let go a 16-point lead and a 19-point lead in 2 games and expect to win a series? And I'm sorry, Doc Rivers, he got to go. Somebody got to fall for this. Doc Rivers got to go. He had some more talent before this team with CP3 and Jordan and Blake. All that talent he had, he still didn't do anything with it. You get more talent and you're still not doing anything with it. The common denominator is Doc Rivers. Gotta go.
Can I throw one last thing in there?
Sure.
Now that the Clippers have been eliminated, Black Thor, your favorite time of year. LeBron in the morning, LeBron in the afternoon, and LeBron all night, baby. LeBron. This is what you wanted.
I'm going to say this right now. If the Heat makes it there, Anthony Davis will not play in the series. You see that block shot last night? Anthony Davis don't want none of that. He don't want none of that. He's going to throw his pinky out. He's going to throw something out. He don't want none of that. If you don't mind, I'll just go on the Clippers real quick.
Go ahead.
I watched him against Dallas, man. I didn't know what Doc was doing then. I'm like, he does no type of adjustments, nothing. It's like they just think they can show up and they're automatically going to win. But you're right. He has to go, man. He lost that team a long time ago. I don't know what he was thinking. Even this series, you look at him sometimes, he did nothing different. You got guys out there flopping around. They're giving up on plays. I'm sorry. I said this a long time ago. If you're going to fire me going down, slinging. Don't get in the media talking about, I take responsibility. You need to be checking these rascals as they play. I thought it was interesting. I was reading Kawhi one of this today. He said, we have to get smarter IQ in the basketball. I'm saying to myself, Kawhi, you didn't know that when you went to this team?
Yeah.
You didn't, bro. You didn't know that. Like you said about poor George. You thought he was someone you should play with? No, there is no IQ. There's no chemistry IQ on that team. They're not. The whole squad about them is give me the ball, I'll take it. Give me the ball, I'll take it. They don't run plays. They don't set screens. They don't go back door. The ball go for a rebound. 4 of them running down the court trying to get set up for the next shot. Nobody going for a rebound. That's who the Clippers are. That's the way they've been coached. But everybody said to them when the season started, oh, yeah, you're going to win the chip. You're going to win the chip. So got in their brain, they thought so. When you have a cat, I'm sorry, I don't care how much he scores. You got a cat. When the pandemic is going on, that's going to go to a strip club, bro, you know what? You're not even playing for us anymore. Lose his points, not playing for him, but that's the mentality of the team. No big deal. The other center comes in, he went to a funeral, he didn't want to come back. Guess what? Stay your ass where you at, bro. You're paying these cats $1 million, and they don't know their role. They don't have the IQ. You have no team. That's it, my opinion.
Well,
One last thing, because I know before you won't admit it, but you got to say it now. It's the revenge of JB, the revenge of Jimmy Buckets, baby. I told y'all, leave that man alone. Leave him alone.
All LeBron.
Leave Jimmy Buckets alone.
He's earning it. I would like to be the first one to say congratulations to LeBron and the Lakers for winning the NBA championship because everything has been laid out for you to do it. Everything. Milwaukee's out the way. Toronto's out the way. The Clippers out the way. Congratulations, LeBron. You know what? Hey, man, to the victors go the spoils, man. 2020 has been one hell of a year. You know, to me, it doesn't count. But, hey, you're in the bubble. There's going to be an NBA champion. So, congratulations, LeBron and the Lakers, because
it hurts.
Hey, it is what it is. I gotta give them their flowers. They're sitting there waiting for their opponent, and the opponent is Denver. I'm gonna be rooting for Denver, but you already know that LeBron and ESPN and ABC, they're going to be rooting for LeBron. It's going to be LeBron, Sprite commercials, then commercials for Christmas. You want a Sprite, the special cranberry Sprite. It's all over, man. All over. The Kia car, the trucks.
Back in the Kia car again.
I'm just bowing down now because that's what it is.
I'm taking out my fire stick right now as we speak, man. I'm taking my fire stick out.
We'll be back next week with the NFL picks. Check out our show. Make comments down on our YouTube channel. We will see you next week. Take care, fellas.
I can't do it.